Back live with you tonight. Back to our leading story. Tensions have once again flared up at Gold One Motor East Mine in Springs on Gauteng's East Rand. Contractors and managers are being kept underground against their will after their colleagues were dismissed for partaking in a sit-in last month. AMCU Head of Organisational Development, Krister van Rensburg, joins us now for more on that. Krister, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. In the words of the Minister, we were dealing with a sit-in situation, but things have turned ugly this morning with new developments of people coming from underground being badly beaten. And therefore, it's no longer a sit-in, it's now a hostage situation. What's AMCU's view?
Yes. Now, I haven't actually heard all those details this morning. I was in communication with the head of legal of the mine, and we've been talking most of the morning until early afternoon just to discuss the way forward. We also had a meeting on Friday night whereby we agreed what process will follow for AMCU to be recognized by the mine. As you might know, until the 14th of this month, the closed shop agreement with NUM is still in place, meaning that effectively all employees of that mine in the particular bargaining unit are members of NUM. So AMCU currently has absolutely no standing in this operation.
So, hence the Minister says maybe you were not really on the ground. I don't know at the time when he was there. Did you manage to speak to the DMRE at all as AMCU?
Yes, the Minister phoned our President yesterday, Mr. Matunjwa, just to share some of his concerns, etc. But we explained to him the situation. It's very difficult for us to intervene where we don't actually have any standing legally or factually. You know, they say de jure or de facto. AMCU has no standing there. We try our best. We've met with management. The main issue, as you might know, this time around is the dismissal of more than 50 employees following the previous sitting. So there's a lot of disgruntlement amongst these employees, partly because, as we hear, the National Unions of Mine Workers refuse to represent them in their disciplinary hearings. So there's a perceived injustice, and that's why they are angry. And our only way that we recommended management of Gold One to deal with this is firstly to communicate to all of them that from the 14th of December, AMCU should be able to prove that it has sufficient members or membership forms in its possession. It should get organizational rights, and those rights will enable us to represent these persons, the ones that were dismissed, and even others that might be in disciplinary hearings, because then we will have standing as a recognized union. Yes.
What is your view? What are you hearing now about the situation underground, where the management is saying things are getting worse as the food reserves are beginning to run out?
We're actually not receiving any formal updates from them. I can just imagine that things are getting worse. I don't know if you've been underground. It's not a very human-friendly environment. I can think that things are going very bad, and obviously we feel for these persons and employees, but there's not much we as AMCU can do rather than advising management what we think they should do. We've advised them, as I said, to communicate these issues to the employees so that they can at least see some light at the end of the tunnel. But alas, it hasn't happened yet, as far as we know.
So in your assessment then, I suppose as things stand, you're saying the employees who are underground are not under your control. Are they NUM members?
Yes. All employees in the bargaining unit, the ones who are underground, form part of that bargaining unit, are de facto and de jure members of the National Union of Mine Workers until the 14th of this month. You will also recall that there was a court case that we took them to court to have a ballot The ballot would have taken place on Friday, the 8th of December. However, NUM took it on appeal, basically in a show of power, to show us that they will only terminate the agreement on the 14th. You might also recall that on the eve of our urgent application, NUM gave notice, 1 month's notice of termination of the closed shop agreement, which now kicked it from the 8th of December until this Thursday, the 14th. So the date of the 14th is not our date. It's a date set by the National Union of Mine Workers.
So you are saying that what could make things better now, could possibly even end this sit-in or hostage situation, would be management communicating with the employees to say, well, the date is the 14th now for the termination of the closed shop agreement.
Yes, I think that will help, and also the assurance that AMCU will represent them in the hearings, be it appeal hearings or disciplinary hearings. I believe personally as well that the employees will find some solace in that and be able to then perhaps come up from underground and know that the situation will be better soon. We hope, and we've asked management, we also met with the CEO of the mine, that please, let's not drag feet. Let's perhaps on Thursday when we meet, the 14th, let's finalize the verification of our forms so that there's no time wasted in signing a recognition agreement and getting the relationship formalized and the situation normalized at Gold One.
Do you think the situation of people being beaten, the minister saying 3 people came out underground heavily beaten, compromises your situation? I mean, how would you be able to negotiate for those particular workers who seemingly would have broken the law there?
Well, as I say, it wouldn't compromise us. We go as far as possible to represent members. However, AMCU is on record that we distance ourselves from any criminal conduct. If there was criminal conduct, the law must take its course. Our only role is in the Labour Relations Act and in the realm of labour law. So we will deal with any labour disputes. Any criminal acts, any civil action, any damages caused by these employees currently while they are members of the NUM is something that we distance ourselves from completely. They are not our members currently. We want them to join us. We want all the mine employees are welcome to join AMCU. We know that they want to join AMCU, but we urge them, and we have, through the informal channels at our disposal, urged them not to embark on these types of actions and also to come up from underground. But it's been unsuccessful up to now, specifically because, remember, we don't even have right to access that mine. Yeah. We have no right currently in terms of the Labour Relations Act.
Have you spoken to the 52 who were dismissed in terms of your interest in representing them?
We've asked our region, the Johannesburg Central region, to announce to these persons that we would like to represent them, even if it's externally at the CCMA or the Labour Court, wherever this matter goes. Obviously, they first need to join AMCU, and for them to join AMCU is for their stop order forms to be processed. We were, however, notified by the head of legal of Gold One that there's an internal appeal process at this mine. So it would be premature to refer the matters to the CCMA at the moment. We would then urge and push and find the quickest way possible to have recognition at this mine to be able to represent all of these people who want to join AMCU.
All right, Krister, I appreciate your time. Krister van Rensburg, AMCU Head of Organisational Development. There they are, as he puts it, advising from the sidelines at this particular point because they don't have any access, in fact, to that mine and any particular standing at this particular point, as they are still not recognized as a union there, with the closed shop agreement still in place until the 14th of December.